Hello, Scouts, and welcome back to the Milky Way, where it's Milky's way. Duh, I'm Milky, if you didn't know. If you are from around these parts, you might know I frequently live stream rather than do recorded videos. So you might be asking, hey Milky, why aren't you streaming? Great question, Scout. Let me answer for you. This is now the third time in this past year in which YouTube has restricted my streaming due to the fact that they believe when I'm on camera that I am a 13 to 15-year-old child. And while in many cases it can be complimentary, it does irk a little bit when you suddenly have no evening entertainment and you are, in fact, 29 years of age. So while YouTube figured that out, I figure I would recap the video we missed out on live streaming. How does that sound? So strap in, get yourself a beverage, and come settle down in the Milky Way. Today we're going to be covering a Foodie Beauty live stream from earlier this evening titled, hold on, great opening title here. It was called Hello. And it started off as a pretty normal stream with her snorting, sniffling, mumbling, high as a kite, but quickly descended into what many of us with more than 3 brain cells could see coming from a mile away. She is regretting her return to Canada. I've got a lot to say, as usual, so let's get into it.
I have no one to make coffee for. Well, I feel like it's boring here. I can't do anything with you guys right now anyway because I'm sick. But I'll have to go out every day. Because, like, I don't know if you're bored with the same positions in this house, but
So now that she's back in Canada after grifting, begging, acting like someone on the corner of a street with a tin can and a cardboard sign, begging for funds to return to Canada, she is lonely. She is lonely and she's so pathetically upset over the fact that she has no one to make coffee for. Now, maybe I'm having some memory loss issues, but I truly can't remember who she was making coffee for in Syria, anyways. She made it quite clear that she was sick to death, sick to the point of fleeing the country, of people visiting her home in Syria, to the point where she would lock herself in one of the bedrooms and let Salah deal with them. She was only in Syria for a month before she had to go to Qatar to a hotel just to get away from all of the people. So this massive change in her stance on that is absolutely baffling to me, for one. If I want to be a total and utter cunt, which, if you know me, I love to be, technically, you are like four people in one. So the coffee may be going down the same hole, but it could be argued that you're serving coffee for multiples. If you really want to, get to the nitty gritty of it, if you want to split hairs here, we then hear her moan and complain about the fact that she's gonna have to, God forbid, get up and make content, you know, do her job, the thing that pays her bills. I mean, it must suck, right? Like, no one can relate to that. But again, I'm really not understanding this change in attitude. She was perfectly content with sitting in Syria with a black screen doing now literally nothing. It was a black screen. She didn't do anything. She could have done recorded videos. The argument was that she didn't have the internet connection to withstand a live stream. But she told us plenty times that uploading videos was perfectly fine. So why she didn't go out and make content in Syria and then upload it that way? Well, do you know what? I'm sitting here saying, why didn't she? We know why. Because that takes effort. And Chantel is allergic to effort.
it's so quiet. I don't know if I can bear it. So I'm just lonely. Wow, Luke. I didn't even name the cat yet. I don't know what to name her.
This cat that you were so desperate for that you had paid for them before you had even seen your apartment in person. You were still bedrotting in a Canadian hotel, still with the airport airplane oxygen in your rotting lungs, and had already purchased a kitten, and you have not yet named them. Do you know why? Because you know you're going back to Syria, and you know this is going to be. Wait, let me do the math. It is the sixth cat she has had in 3 years is BBJ, Sam, Julia, Smokey. Bruce, and now no name, which is absolute insanity. I think she has worn panties longer than she's kept some of these pets. We know the kitten isn't going to get a name because it's going to be abandoned, much like the others.
You guys don't know the relationship, only bits that I've told you. You don't know anything else. You can't say how awful it was because you don't know.
Editing Milky, could you please slip in the clip from about a month and a half ago of Chantel leaving a message for her followers, telling them that if anything happened to her, it was Salah? Thank you so much.
If anything happens to me, it was them. It was him, it was them. It's like I'm depressed for different reasons where I am. One, no matter where I am, because I'm just like have that clinical sickness. But here, I don't know. It's like a scary existence.
Of course it's scary. Do you know why it's scary? It's scary because no matter what country you're in, what couch you're sitting on, what food is in your belly, what cultural religious garb you're dressing up in to cosplay, no matter where you are, you're always going to be miserable, Chantel. Because when you look in the mirror, it's you staring back. You are the problem. And no amount of fake husbands, country hopping, and filling your gun is going to change that unless you get some serious medical professional help, which you won't. So, womp womp, I guess.
Like I relied a lot on him for a lot of stuff. I don't think that's fair to him. But I felt limited, I guess, there in a lot of ways, particularly with content because live streaming and it's just a really different existence, anyways. I wake up here alone. I don't have motivation to do anything except take gummies so I don't have to think about anything. In Syria, like, I did stuff inside the house that made other people happy.
I think the gummies are going to her head and she's having cannabis induced hallucinations and recollections, falsified memories, if you will. Because again, I'd love to know. I was there, I watched it nearly every live stream. I'd love to know what you did in the house that made other people happy. And I don't want to hear none of this. Well, you don't know behind the scenes, you spent hours a day live streaming. You told us when you picked your ass, when you shat the bed, when you sneezed, coughed, snorted. You told us when your pussy cysts exploded and pus dripped down your leg. You told us everything. You did nothing in that house. You didn't clean up after yourself. You didn't fulfill this wifely role you claimed to have filled. You told us multiple times that one of his aunts was constantly on you to clean the curtains, which you refused to do, obviously. So, again, what did you do in that house that made other people happy? Besides give them money, which you admitted to.
Yeah, she's in a bag. I should go get her out.
Oh, please, Chantel, don't rush. Let the kitten play in a bag by itself that it could definitely choke itself in. Girl, take your time, truly. We're in no rush whatsoever.
Let me make a spot for her. Oh my god, she's destroying everything. And I miss Juice. Like, I'm such an idiot. Frig. Your depression is killing your channel. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't entertain you. Like, why would I give a shit about that, Peppermint? You think my whole existence is just my channel? It's not. I don't live to make you entertained and happy. Whoever had that idea to do members only, thank you so much. Because that's a lot better. Because I don't need people on the internet who don't give a flying fuck about me harassing me all damn day when I'm on here for comfort. And the internet's not a good place for comfort. Yeah, well, I don't care. There are good people on it as well. And people just try to invalidate my feelings, and like I'm tired of it. We're holding you accountable for what? I don't owe you anything. Did I ask for accountability in my life? No. You just sit back and watch and shut the F up or leave. Like, don't go on and on and on about something.
You're so right. It isn't your job to make people happy unless your job is live streaming. And therefore, when you're not being entertaining, you're not fulfilling your end of the bargain. When you start live streaming or making videos, the whole concept and point is to entertain others. So when you're not doing that, maybe bold idea here, don't live stream or do videos. I know, epic thinking coming from Milky. Let's not forget the incredible hypocrisy coming from Chantel here. If you don't like it, leave. I didn't ask for accountability. No, you did ask for £10,000 from your audience to fund your travel back to Canada with promises of content and a new life. So again, when you don't uphold your end of the bargain, the promise you made, people are going to be upset. And that's not to say people expect you to be at 100 every day, all day. No one expects that from anyone. But what is expected is in a job where you have so much freedom with your time and the work you put in is way less than the money you get out of it. Like you do so little effort for so much payoff. I think the least you can do is maybe live stream when you are in a better mood, when you are happier, rather than coming on to sit there and sniffle and moan and complain in a house that people donated for, on a couch that people donated for, with food in your belly that people donated for, wearing clothes that other people donated for. This isn't even like money she earned and saved up for. That isn't that. Otherwise, I'd have a bit of a different opinion. This is money she actively begged people to send her for this lifestyle change to move back to Canada. It's not money she earned with hard work.
So, seriously, they just go on and on, like bashing Salah, like acting like they knew everything about our relationship. It's my fault for saying anything negative. This is why you don't do that, because then people will just hate the person, living eye roll, looking around for keys. I know it's frustrating and so eye roll worthy of people to be like, oh my God, I can't believe you want to be with him or her. At the end of the day, like when it's an online relationship, you don't know the extent of anything. Like you don't know the full extent of a relationship. And it's just like, none of you love him and none of you love me. So you don't understand, like in that way, none of you understand the relationship to the full extent. And it's just like, it's so quiet. I'm like not normal because I know like I flip flop so easy. The minute I last about a week in Canada, then I would just want to go back. And I can't imagine how mentally hard that is on Salah as well and my family.
You can flip flop as much as you flippin' want to, just not on other people's dime, Chantel. If you had funded this yourself, I think a lot of people would have a lot less to say about it, but you didn't. You begged and you pleaded. You created this whole dramatization that you were in danger, that your life was at risk, so you could get the money you needed to get back home. And I can't even imagine how incredibly emotionally draining this is on your mum, your sister, the other very small few amount of people that care about you, to constantly feel like their loved one is in peril. This constant heightened state of anxiety and of adrenaline, of not knowing if you're okay, of you saying you're not okay and then you're okay again, and then getting used to you being back in Canada and you going back again. I would have cut you off a long, long time ago.
Well, I'm telling you something. I feel like, should I just try to get used to the loneliness and be by myself? Or should I either move in with Pete's or go back to Syria? And if I go back to Syria, your channel's gonna tank if you go back to Syria. Well, whatever then. I mean, what do you want me to say? I don't have to worry about bills the way I do here. And those who still like me, no matter what I do, will still watch. So who cares?
Notice how she can't even make eye contact with the camera while she's saying all this because she knows the comments are absolutely dragging her by the three strands she has left glued down onto her bald ass head. And you're right, you wouldn't have to worry about bills so much in Syria. You just have to worry about the gunshots and the grenades and the war and the bombings and the lack of electricity, again, which are horrible things that people have to go through, but you treat it as some sort of lesson in humanity. Or would it be a lesson in humility? You know what I mean.
How do you know I won't be happy if I'm not happy anywhere, anyways? Anyway, we'll see. I'm obviously here, so that's the best option.
And there you have it, you guys. We are at the end of this video. Let me know what you think. Is Chantel going back to Syria? Has she scammed and daylight robbed thousands out of her audience in broad goddamn daylight? I'd love to know what you think down below. And if you like this kind of content from me, would you guys like to see more? Um, Toast says you better like the video and leave a comment. He is a prince and he expects nothing but absolute servitude from his audience, from his adoring public. So, as always, my sweet scouts, you've been you, I've been Milky, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.